One of the most popular magician tricks is pulling a rabbit out of a hat. The magician shows the audience an empty hat, does some dramatic gestures, and somehow manages to pull out a white rabbit. We all know the secret by now though, right? The rabbit was in the hat all along, waiting under a hidden compartment. We've been examining worldview. We noted what each worldview needs to have, what worldviews can't have, and we've described the Christian worldview. In this video, we'll examine the no-God worldviews. Do you remember the gorilla Harambe? In 2016, he took a bullet for a kid and the world went wild. Now, if your views of Harambe don't have a solid framework or foundation, then your opinion of the event is invalid. You can tweet that Harambe should have been allowed to live or that it was right for him to be shot. I just want to help you understand that your tweet may not be worth the twit it was tweeted on. I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion. I'm saying you need a framework to place your opinion in. If you say there are no absolutes and then make moral claims, you're being inconsistent. But if you make a moral claim and don't have an absolute standard that serves as a framework for your claim, then you're being arbitrary. Over here, the no-God worldview holder will state that there is no meaning, no value, and no absolutes. The problem with this is when we try to take it into the real world, you cannot live this view consistently because it isn't consistent. It isn't consistent with the world you're living in, and it isn't consistent with your humanity. A person can claim to believe these things, but they'll have to find another universe to live it out in. Over here, however, the no-God worldview holder will make moral claims, reality claims, and truth claims, but without a meaningful justification for them. Over here, it is arbitrary, making claims without an absolute foundation to make the claims upon. Now, no one can live on either side of the pendulum for too long, because no one can remain sane while being permanently inconsistent or permanently arbitrary. What you'll discover if you're honest with yourself is that you'll continually swing between the two when the time suits. Richard Dawkins once said, "There is at bottom no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, nothing but blind, pitiless indifference." So Dawkins is claiming to be on this side of the pendulum swing. His magician's hat, he says, is empty. Now, watch as Dawkins pulls the rabbit out of the bag. Watch as he swings to the other side. If Dawkins really believed what he just said, he could never say this.
The God of the Old Testament is arguably the most unpleasant character in all fiction. Jealous and proud of it, a petty, unjust, unforgiving control freak, a vindictive, bloodthirsty ethnic cleanser, a misogynistic, homophobic, racist, infanticidal, genocidal, filicidal, pestilential, megalomaniacal, sadamasochistic, capriciously malevolent bully.
On one hand, Dawkins is saying there's no good or evil, and yet God is evil. Do you see the holes yet? Can you see the inconsistency and the arbitrary nature of these statements? The only way Dawkins can make a moral claim when he claims to have a no absolute morality worldview bag is to stick his hand into someone else's bag. He has to borrow from someone else's worldview, namely the Christian one. Either that, or as I would argue, Dawkins' bag has been wrongly labeled. There are moral absolutes in there after all. The rabbit has been in there all along. Dare me to say it? Dawkins is living in God's universe, and he knows it. If there is no good or evil, misogyny is neither good or evil. If there is no right and wrong, and you enjoy being a capricious, malevolent bully, then have at it. Who are we to judge after all? And what standard would we judge you according to if we did? Now, what about our opinions on politics, the economy, war, feminist rights and racial issues, abortion, and other such things? Where on the pendulum swing are you at this time? None of this is designed to mock or belittle you. This is an appeal to show you that you're living in a constant swing between being inconsistent and being arbitrary. And what we would appeal to you is get off the pendulum. Now, in the next video, we're going to explore why people would rather remain on the no-God worldview pendulum, content with being inconsistent and arbitrary.